I hope y'all get a notification. YouTube don't send out no notifications at night, I don't think. I think they be like, y'all can go to bed. They ain't sending out no notifications at night. YouTube like all y'all need, y'all should be in the bed. Who is here? Cause I can't see you. Tell me who it is. I'm not gonna be able to see all of the. Hey, Sundrop. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see all of the comments because I'm on my phone. But I had to come in and tell y'all this because I just saw something on TikTok and I wanted y'all to explain it to me. Or let me know, have you heard of it before? Because I want to talk about it. I'm gonna see if YouTube will send out a few more um notifications and then we gonna get started. I was watching this TikTok video and I was really kind of surprised by this young lady's response. And this too is why we should be monitoring what our children are posting online. We should be seeing what our children are posting online, what they're saying online, because there's some kids online saying all type of things about their parents. So I saw this video, and this young lady could not have been more than 16 or 17 years old because she's still in high school. Because she said in the video she was still in high school. So I guess her mom had called. I'm assuming her mother was at work, and she had called the house to check on her to see what she was doing. And the young lady was like, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go with my boyfriend." And the mother was like, "No, you're not. You need to stay home because there's some things that you have to do." So the girl said she told the mother that she had cleaned up her room and she felt like that was all she had to do and she was going over to her boyfriend's house. So she, left. So she gets on TikTok and she's making these videos about, yeah, I'm tired of doing what my mama say because at this point her telling me that I can't see my boyfriend is abuse of authority. Abuse of parental authority because her mother told her that she didn't want her going over the boy's house. Now I know each generation gets a little different. These kids, at a certain age, the kids start smelling themselves and, they want to do what they want to do and say what they want to say. But if I told you that I didn't want you going over to your boyfriend's house, I wanted you to stay at home for whatever reason. When I got home from work, you better had been there. You better have been there. Because more than likely the mother is paying the cell phone bill. She probably don't have a job because she's in the car with her little boyfriend and she's like, my boyfriend bought me something to eat and it was like looked like a burger and some fries or something and she was, happy. And I know, 15, 16, 17 years old, you happy, you got a little boyfriend, maybe he has a job and, he can take you to the movies and do this, that, and the other. And she was saying, well, over my boyfriend's house, his mom is lit and, his sisters and stuff, everybody over there is cool. Of course, everybody is cool at your boyfriend's house. My house used to be the lit house back in the day. Your mama ain't your best friend, or your little friend, or little people that you hang out with. She not supposed to be lit. I think that's where these kids are forgetting that your parent is your parent. I'm not your peer. Your parent is not your peer. And until you get to the age that you can take care of yourself and you can pay your own bills, then you are basically doing what she says do. And if your mother is don't want you to, hang out with your boyfriend, she's telling you that she wants you to stay home and do whatever it is at the house, then that's what you have to do. You can't just make a decision for yourself or say that, at this point, this is just abuse of authority. So I guess next, when mothers tell their kids to clean their room up, that's an abuse of authority. Because I have seen on TikTok where parents, have shown how disgusting their kids' rooms were. And, people in the comments were like, well, that's your fault because you're not having the child clean up. And the parent would say something like that, oh well, it's I can't just go in my child's room when they're not here and clean up because that messes with their they have the right to keep the no, you don't have a right to keep my house nasty. If I tell you to clean up your room, I mean clean that room up. I'm not going to come in here and look at how nasty. I'm not going to come in here and look at how nasty the room is because you feel like um I'm invading your privacy. That's what this one woman said. One woman, she was like, "Oh, well, that's invading their privacy. To go in their room and clean up while the child is not there, while the child is not present, is invading their privacy because it's their bedroom. But it's my house. This my house." So Sundrop said, when I was 16, I had a messy room and snuck around to see my boyfriend, who she forbade me to see. Yeah, and kids do that. Kids do that all the time. But what I'm saying is, if your parent tells you to do something, if you are underage and your parent tells you to do something, you need to do it. And it's not it's not um parent overexerting their authority. It's parents being parents. My mother used to do that sometimes. Like sometimes she would clean my room while I was at school. Like she would dust and vacuum and stuff like that. But my room only got so messy because, for one, I didn't want to deal with my mom. It just kind of depended on what type of mood she was in and what level of messy the room was in, because if she felt like it was like legit crazy, my mother would close the bedroom door and just put a note on the door. And when I got home from school and there was a note on the door, I knew she meant business. Go in there and clean that room up. And, I would do it. But I didn't have a problem. Like, I would never say anything if I got home from school and my mom had dusted or had vacuumed my room because she was vacuuming hers. Because she always felt like if I'm going to pull a vacuum cleaner out and vacuum my room, then I'm a she would vacuum everything, the stairs, the hallway, her room, my room, everything. Yeah. I mean, even if certain things, if my mother told me to do it, I did it. And like messing around with boys and stuff, I guess I was really a good kid. because I wasn't going to boys' houses, sneaking out. Well, for one, I really just did not want, like I was scared of getting pregnant and, going through all of that kind of stuff. Because being as religious as we were, as I was growing up, I had really made up in my mind that I wanted to be a virgin when I got married. So sneaking around with boys wasn't on the top of my list in high school. Like, I couldn't even legit date until I was 16. Like, my mother really wasn't playing. And when it came to decisions that my mother was making as a parent, I didn't question her decisions. Like, I wasn't going to, well, why? And you can't tell me that I can't, go out with my boyfriend. Oh, see, no. Sundance. I didn't get pregnant until I got married. Both of my kids are by my husband. My first husband, um, not my husband that I'm married to now. But both of my kids are by my husband. I did not get pregnant until I got married. And I had made up my mind early that, you know, I wasn't going to I wasn't going to be doing that. I wasn't going to be fooling around and stuff in high school. And I didn't. I did not have sex in high school or anything. Like, I didn't even come close to having sex in high school. Yeah, like in high school I was like reading, and but I was like really shy and nerdy. That could have helped too. But I think if even if I hadn't been shy, I don't think having sex would have been high on my priority list in high school. And plus, none of my friends, like none of my nerdy friends, like we were all the same. Like we was too busy laughing at all the girls that we thought were having sex. And they may not have even been having sex, but we pinned sex on them. And those were the dirty girls. Like, we laughed at them, and we didn't want to be that. I was the good kid. And I had a very serious reputation to uphold at the church that I went to as a good girl. And I wanted to continue to uphold that reputation. And I did. But I just feel like the point where we are now, we are basically losing control of our children. I think a lot of kids don't respect their parents. They don't listen to their parents. I mean, it just seems like we're somewhat raising a generation of just utterly disrespectful children. I saw a post on Facebook, and I'm not saying that this young lady is disrespectful or anything, but I'm just saying I saw a post on Facebook of a young lady taking her prom pictures, and I wish I could show you guys, but I'm on my phone. But I'm gonna post it on a community wall later on so you guys can see it. But this young lady took her prom pictures with her prom date, and they both had some very high powered weapons, like semi automatic guns. So the young lady is holding one in her hand, and she had this big, beautiful gown. And then on the ground, on top of this pretty gown, is like a semi automatic weapon. The young man, her date, they matching. They both have on very nice. She had on a nice gown. He had on like a tux or suit or something, but they were matching. And he's holding a gun. And so I saw a post earlier today and said that the college that the young lady had received a scholarship for took their scholarship back because of her little prom stunt. And I was saying to myself, I wonder did her parents tell her not to do that? That's not a good idea. And she was like, oh, you don't know, because kids will tell you in a minute, oh, you don't know what's hot, or you don't know what's lit, or you don't know, what we doing. It's fine. You just tripping. And then this happened. And then she lost her scholarship over a photo. And I can see a college doing that because they're thinking, okay, well, if this girl is taking these kind of photos and she haven't even got here yet, like, is she gonna bring this type of behavior to the school with her? Like, are we gonna have to worry about her toting a gun to class? Or some people in the comments were saying that if the guns were registered or whatever, then it shouldn't have been a problem. But this is like a 17-year-old. Why would a semi-automatic weapon be registered to a child? Now, I don't know anything about gun ownership or, license and all that kind of stuff, but I would think 17, 18 years old is kind of young to have a semi automatic weapon registered to. I don't think that's appropriate. So, if you're not old enough to own that or that be registered to you legally, why would you take a picture with it? Yeah, these scholarships, they gonna hold you to the letter. They are legit not playing with you. These people are giving you money. They are going to hold you to the letter. They have standards. You didn't already jump through hoops probably to get the scholarship. And then you do something like that to it's just a bad look. Because they're probably thinking, okay, well, when she gets to school, is she gonna be taking pictures like this? Like, is this the norm for her? Like, she could have been a A student. Like, she could have been a 4.0 honor roll student and just wanted to take this ghetto photo, and it backfired. It backfired. But I'm thinking, like, if you're a good student, that would be like me. Like, I'm somebody's grandma. I'm not about to sit here and take a picture of me smoking crack or something. Like, yeah. What what sense does that make? Like, my family is gonna be calling. They're gonna be like, "Are you okay? I just saw a picture of you on Facebook with a crack pipe. What, Granny? What's going on? Do you know how many phone calls I would get? Everybody will be calling here talking about what's what is going on with Granny? I just saw her post a picture with a crack pipe. And then I'd be like, oh, I was just joking. Y'all, I was just playing. Y'all know I don't smoke no crack. Whoa. What did you take the picture for? Like, why did you post that? You seen some CBD look like crack. Well, I ain't smoking that either then. I don't want to smoke nothing that look like crack. I don't want to smoke anything that would make anybody in my family think that I'm smoking crack. It just don't look right. So, even if she didn't mean anything by, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to change colors. Even if she didn't, one thing I can't stand about crocheting is changing colors, y'all. I don't know why changing colors is so stressful for me. If I don't weave these ends in, I think tomorrow I'm gonna have a end weaving party because I didn't change colors so many times in this project that look at all that. So I think tomorrow I'm gonna weave all the ends in because I think I'm at the halfway mark. I think I'm at the halfway mark, and so I want to weave them in now. I am pretty sure she is regretting posting that photo. And I don't know if it was the young man thought it was, he thought it was lit or whatever y'all be saying. I don't know if it was his idea or her idea, but I am pretty sure whose ever idea it was, I'm pretty sure she is saying, I wish I hadn't did that. And I wonder, did her parents know? Like, did they know that she was going to do that and told her, I don't think that's a good idea? Because I'm telling you, if that was my child, my niece, or whoever, I would have told them. I don't think you should do that. I really don't. I don't think that that's a good idea. Yes, it's going to get a lot of views on social media because the picture did get a lot of views. Everybody, was like sharing that picture. I mean, it got a lot of views and it got a lot of negative comments. Like when I first saw the picture, I saw it like last week. When I first saw it, I was like, all right, somebody gonna see this and it's either gonna make the news or something. And now I see where they said that she she lost her scholarship. I bet you her mama told her not to do it too. I bet you she did. Or somebody. I know all of the adults in these kids' life did not tell them. Somebody had to have told them, that's not a good idea. It's not a good look. Because, you know, had the theme of their prom thing had been like camouflage and dark and, had a hunter theme or something, I probably would have been like, oh, okay, well, it makes sense, because that's that's the thing. It ties into their colors. It had, their prom thing had a theme. But it was like purple and white, just like a normal like the guns were unnecessary. Like they didn't need the guns. The dress was pretty. Her hair was pretty. Her makeup was done nice. Like the guns were unnecessary. I don't even see where the guns like tied in and made any sense. But I think a lot of this is, kids just don't want to listen to their parents. That whole parents know best, that is out the window. I really don't believe that, kids at, these newfangled kids, like I like to call them, I don't think they really believe that their parents know more than they do. And a lot of them don't respect their parents. That's why so many of them get in trouble early. Get into situations that they really don't have to get into, and they're in these situations because they don't listen to any of their elders. They think they know it all. I mean, I'm in my 50s and I'm still learning. I don't feel like I know it all. I'm still learning. I listen to people that, I feel have more wisdom than me, and it has nothing to do with age. There are young people that I think are very smart. And if they can help me in a certain situation, I'm most definitely going to listen. Especially when it comes to like computers and stuff, because I don't know a whole lot. Hey, sweetie, I don't know a whole lot about computers, and if somebody can help me, I'm surely going to take their advice about social media. Young people, y'all the ones out here doing all this stuff. Yeah, I'm going to take your advice. Naya, we talking about this young lady that I saw on Facebook who posted her prom pictures with semi-automatic weapons in the photo. And someone said today that the college that she had applied to took their scholarship back. And so we were just kind of talking about how it seems like, well, that was one of the things that we're talking about. In another situation where a 16-year-old girl, after her mom told her not to go over to her boyfriend's house, she got on TikTok and told all her followers that her mother is abusing her power as an adult, as a parent. She said her mother telling her not to go to her boyfriend's house was an abuse of parental authority. And of course, she went on to her boyfriend's house because she told her mama that's what she was going to do. And you're not going to sit around here and abuse your authority by telling me to not do the things that I want to do. And so, my question is, are we losing this generation of kids? Do kids just flat out not respect their parents? Right. That's a mother not wanting to see her 16-year-old probably get pregnant or, get abused or get a sexually transmitted disease. That's a mother who cares about her child. I don't want you over at his house. I don't know who's over there. I don't know his parents. So no, I don't want you over there. I will be the same way. I don't want you over there. I told you not to go over there. If the boy wants to come over here and see you, then that's fine. But I don't want you over there because I can't control what's going on at his house. But I can control what's going on here. That's a mother that cares about her child. Because anything can happen. You hear too many stories of girls, going places with boys that they thought they could trust, and they get over there and he's got a big brother or uncle or somebody, and now your daughter has been molested because you didn't know what was going on at his house, and you told your daughter to stay home, but she didn't. She left and got on TikTok and was telling the world. And then she was saying, well, I don't know what's going to happen when I get home. I know I'm going to have to deal with her mouth when I get home. You could tell in the back of her mind that this girl knew that her mother would snatch a crook in her neck. Because, she kind of had that in her voice, like, I know when I get home, I'm going to have to hear from my mom. Then you should have kept your butt at home like your mother told you. She told you not to go. So you should have stayed at home. Naya said, then if she get pregnant, she gonna be calling the mom, a, yeah, a bad grandmother for not wanting to babysit. Right. I ain't tell you to go out there and get pregnant. Because, honey, I told you about all the people on TikTok mad at the grandparents because they won't keep the kids so you could be out partying and stuff all weekend. No, we're not doing that. I got my own life. I like to go out with my husband on the weekends. I'm not gonna be stuck with no kids. Take them kids with you. Go somewhere where you can take your kids. Go to Chuck E. Cheese. You got kids now. You don't need to be all at the club and stuff all weekend. Go to Chuck E. Cheese. To take the kids with you. Go to Dave and Buster's. You a parent now. So you have responsibilities. You gotta take care of them kids. The kids they want to go to the club too. So you better take them to Dave and Buster's. Y'all going out and go to Chuck E. Cheese and play some kitty games. Cause on the weekends, uh, Granny like to go to the movies and she like to go out to eat and not keep the kids all the time. Cause I done seen them on there talking about how bad the grandparents is. Grandparents ain't like they used to be. You used to could drop the grandkids off and all that kind of stuff. Grandparents are younger too than they used to be. You could drop the kids off at Big Mama house because Big Mama didn't work. Nowadays, grandparents are still working. So on the weekends, they're out here trying to do the same thing you're doing on the weekends, which is relax or go out and have a nice time, just like you. The days of Big Mama being at home and not working because Mr. Charlie, worked and brought home the check, those days are over. It ain't no Big Mamas just like staying at home. Not like that. Big Mama got a job. These grandmas is in their 40s, okay? Because people are having babies younger and younger. These grandmothers are in their late 30s and early 40s. They don't even want you to call them Big Mama. Cause see, Big Mama was in her 60s. Big Mama was in her 60s. She was just in good health. Big Mama got a job now, child. Ain't no big mamas. Shit, I'm in my 50s and I don't even want you to call me big mama. I haven't got the big mama status yet. Don't just call me granny. But I ain't got the big mama status. Big mama in her 60s and 70s. These grandmas and grannies and grandmas are younger and younger. So, no. All that stuff that Big Mama did, them days is gone. They gone. Because y'all having babies younger and younger. So, if the parents are younger, then of course the grandparents are going to be younger. I'm 57 and my oldest grandchild is 13. So, I was in my 40s. No, I was in my late 30s. Was was 13, no, 40s when she was born. So, grandmas was getting younger and younger. And I think some of these kids feel like because their parent is young, they just feel like, oh, I can talk to her. But some parents though allow their children to basically be on the same level, you know, their peers instead of parent child relationship is more of a parent, parent is a peer to the child. They're, y'all ain't on the same level. And we're not even gonna act like we on the same level. Like I tell my kids all the time, my kids grown in their 30s. But you still ain't grown as me. You grown, but you're not grown when it come to me. You grown with your peers and people younger, not my kind of grown. You ain't got that grown. And you probably ain't gonna get that grown with me. I saw a video saying big mamas are still here. They're just scared to take leadership because of how crazy the young folks are acting and be ready to fight if they tell them anything. I don't think they scared. I think they just don't want to deal with it. They just don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with that level of respect. So you keep your hard head ass kids at home. I think that's where a lot of these big mamas are. Stay at home with your hard head ass kids. Don't bring them kids over here because they don't know how to act. They don't want to deal with it. Especially the any of the big mamas that I know, they ain't scared. These these big mamas, they'll fight you, but they don't even want to deal with that because they know that these kids are disrespectful and they just don't want to deal with them. And I don't blame them. You ain't gonna raise my blood pressure, and you're not gonna come over to my house disrespecting my house, smoking weed in my house, drinking, coming in and out all hours of the night. You're not gonna do that at my house. My house. Big Mama, her house is dedicated to the Lord. You're not gonna go over Big Mama house smoking and um, smoking the devil's lettuce and drinking and all that kind of stuff. Big Mama got to get up and go to church. She got to go to sleep on a certain time on Saturday night so she can get up and go to church Sunday. And Big Mama don't want you laying around her house if she got to get up and go to church. She want everybody to go to church. And if you ain't going to go to church, then don't go to the Big Mama house on Saturdays. Cause you know Big Mama gonna get mad when she get up Sunday morning and y'all don't get dressed for church. So I don't think Big Mama's scared. I think Big Mama just don't want to deal with it. She don't want to deal with that mess. She ain't trying to raise her blood pressure and have her sugar going up behind y'all crazy kids. Big Mama say, stay home with your mama. And don't send them over to my house after you didn't raise them and they don't listen to you. Don't send them over here. Cause see, you thought they was too good. You didn't want to whoop them. You didn't want to have no discipline. And now they out here robbing stores and taking money out your pocketbook and stuff. And you want to send them over to my house? No, you won't. You definitely will not. Cause I told you, you can't just let these kids run around here wild. These feral children, like the cats outside and stuff. You can't just let them run around wild. The kids need discipline. Well, if you have a child that's hitting the parents and acting a fool, then yeah, you ain't coming over here. You, you done already hit your mama. You definitely not coming over here. Mm-mm. You hitting your mama, you cussing your mama out, you didn't threaten your mama. You're definitely not coming over here, child. You don't respect your mama. So I definitely don't expect you to respect me. Now I wouldn't blame you when it comes to that. I wouldn't blame her. Honey, Big Mama is guarding her peace. She don't want to deal with it. Yeah. You over there whooping your mama? Cussing your mama out and stuff? You ain't coming over here? You ain't gonna bring that mess over here? Especially if you know the grandmother is older and she didn't got to that point where, she no one good fall and that's it. She know her hip bad. No, she's not going to. Um, she's not dealing with that, and I don't blame her. I definitely don't blame her because I know I wouldn't. I definitely would not. But I've been blessed though. My grandkids are really good. Oh yeah. What? Who was those twins? I forgot those twin boys. They parents were rich and I don't know what, I can't remember the whole story, but they killed their mama and daddy. The something twins, they like famous because I think they doing life in jail. I know they killed their mother and father. Right, right. Like that's one thing in I think most black families. If you hit Big Mama, you better just go on and find you some. Just go on and dig you a hole. The Menendez brothers. That's it. The Menendez brothers. They killed. Wasn't they? Was they twins or was one of them older than the other one? I know they killed their mom and daddy. They killed their mother and father. I remember that because they. Oh, it's a Ramirez twins too, child. I know somebody killed their parents because they made a movie. They made a was it a Lifetime movie? I know they made a movie um about them. Hey Arnita, They made a movie about them. So yeah, it is some kids out here who will definitely do away with their parents. But you got to be some kind of mentally ill to um do some mess like that, because it is totally different to not listen to your parent, and sneak out the house, or, you know, go with your boyfriend when your parent told you not to. Like, it's totally different to do some mess like that, or get on TikTok and talk shit about your parent. It's totally different to do that than to actually take a gun and kill your parent. And the two twin girls killed their mom. But that was recent. That was recent, wasn't it? The two twin girls, wasn't that recent? Because the Menendez thing, didn't they do that in like the 90s or the early 2000s? Because I know it's been a while. I think the Menendez thing um, was a while ago. I'm probably going to have to put my ice pack on my, because I've been crocheting, y'all. I want to finish this little jacket. This thing is going to have some colors. And the yarn, some of the yarn has sparkle. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. And then this is this is all kind of colors, girl. The two twin girls are grown now. Oh, well, I don't know who that is. I don't really remember that one. But wasn't the Menendez, wasn't they already older? They were teenagers when they killed their mom. Were the Menendez brothers, were they like in their 20s, or were they in their early? I think they had already graduated from high school um, when they did it. So maybe they were like 18 or 19 or something like that. And didn't they do it because they wanted the money? The girls were black. The girls that did it were black. Yeah, because I know no one thinks, unless they know that their child has a propensity for violence, no parent believes that their child will kill them. Unless that parent knows that it's something wrong with that child, like they know that their child is, has some mental instabilities, or their child has exhibited violence in the past, then you would kind of think, okay, this kid may do something to me. Because I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this case that was on Oprah. This little girl, I don't know if she had like multiple personalities, or like what was wrong with her, but I think she said she had like invisible friend that would tell her to hurt her younger sibling. And so, like, this little girl, they would have to sometimes in um put her in a mental institution for a while, because she would like really go off. And it got to the point where, the little girl was threatening to not only hurt her younger sibling, but hurt the parent. And the mother was like, yeah, we would have to take shifts staying up, getting rid of like all the knives and spoons and forks and everything that the little girl could use to hurt somebody. Like they didn't even want to go to sleep with her in the house because this little girl had said that she would hurt them. Now, in that instance, yeah, I would be scared. Especially if the little girl had like legit tried to do something. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's genetic, but I think the child can have like a mental illness, like schizophrenia, like something like schizophrenia could be genetic, something like that. But I wouldn't say like um, just wanting to kill somebody. I don't think. But like if you have a mental illness, then it's really no telling what you will and will not do. I just didn't understand why they kept, like every time they would lock the little girl up, they already knew it was something wrong with her, but they would lock her up and they wouldn't leave her in the place. I think for one thing, she was so young. I think she was only like 8 or 9 years old, and she was having a lot of mental health issues. What time is it, y'all? 9 o'clock. She was like super young, and she was having a lot of problems. So yeah, in that case, yeah, I would. In that case, like I most definitely wouldn't let her be going to stay with Big Mama because I don't want you, going over to my mama house. I already know you got issues. So I definitely don't want you to go over to my mama's house and do something to her. Hey, bingo thinker. When we already know that it's something wrong with you. So tomorrow we're going to finish our that smell like somebody smoking. Tomorrow we're going to finish our series on forgiveness. I hope you guys had an opportunity to watch the video today where I gave you the scriptures to help you with forgiveness. My mama used to make us, um, my mama used to make us watch those kind of shows and cases and saying, now try to kill me if you want to, and I'll be waiting for you. I brought you in this world and I'll take you. My mother never really watched those type of shows. In my opinion, our parents can groom us for abuse. Uh, Explain that. What do you mean by that? To groom you to be abused by other people, or groom you to abuse other people? Because this instance, we were talking about kids that um kill their parents. My mom always encouraged me to stay with men that were psychologically abusive. What, did she know? Did she know that? Did she know that the person was abusing you? Like, was it one of those type of situations where, because I know that this has happened. Sometimes mothers say things like, is the person, if the person is like taking care of you, taking care of responsibilities like the paying the mortgage, and you're driving a nice car and you look nice, the kids are taken care of and stuff, but your outside looks great. Where I used to say people look really good on paper. You have a nice house, both people have degrees, you have nice careers, the kids look nice, but the inside is a mess. He's, verbally abusive, mentally abusive, those type of things. And yes, I have heard parents, you know, tell their daughters that, well, at least your situation would be worse if you left, which is sad. It's sad. And I think some of that is because that's what they went through. Yeah. It, and it makes sense. No parent wants to, on the flip side, she, as a mother, she knows that if you leave that situation, you going to be struggling. And I'm the type of person to say struggle. I'm never going to tell anybody to stay in. Let me finish. Let me finish, Sundrop. I'm never going to tell anybody to stay in a relationship like that, because your peace of mind is worth so much more than driving a Mercedes or living in a nice neighborhood, or, your kids going to private school. Because eventually those kids are going to grow up and they're going to leave the nest, and you're going to be stuck with an asshole. So I will tell you in a minute, stack your paper, always have some money on the side, and if it's bad, get out. I'm a nurse, can take care of myself. She does not want me to be single. I know a lot of older women that believe that. They have their mindset that, especially if you have kids, no one's going to want you with kids. You're going to be by yourself. You're going to be struggling. But if your peace of mind is gone, you got to get it back. And if it means being by yourself, then that's what it means. But see, some people view abuse has different levels for different people. Some people can deal with words. Words don't bother them. I don't care what you say as long as you don't put your hands on me. That's how some people are. They can deal with words. No matter how toxic the situation is, as long as it stays verbal, they're okay. I have an issue with words. There are certain things you cannot say to me. But some people, depending on, their level of abuse or level of toxicity, it could be different than yours. Because some people don't believe that abuse is verbal. I just divorced my abusive ex-husband and I'm a single mother, and it's hard sometimes, but I'm happy now. alone than with him, and my elders were passed. I think you meant pressed when I left him. Yeah, because they don't want to see you by yourself. They don't feel like a woman should be alone. And in the sense, sometimes they're more worried about you being by yourself than you are being in that relationship. My psychiatrist dropped me because I couldn't go no contact to my mom. She's the reason I'm so mentally fucked. Your psychiatrist or your mom? Why did your psychiatrist drop you? I don't understand that part. Because your psychiatrist shouldn't have dropped you. Your psychiatrist wanted you to go back home to your mom and she got mad at you? What kind of psychiatrist was that? Oh, your mom is toxic too? But see, like I said though, your mother may be looking at the fact that if your if your abuse is just verbal, and I'm not saying just. I shouldn't have, in my opinion, just does not belong there. But for some people, if it's verbal, they don't consider that abuse. They feel like you should be able to deal with words. A lot of people do. A lot of people feel like verbal abuse is not abuse. Yeah, but your counselor or anybody should not have told you to stay with someone that was physically and sexually abusing you. They should have been the main one trying to help you get out of that situation. I don't see how any counselor would look at a situation like that and tell you to stay with your abuser. Oh, your mom believes all men cheat. So that must mean that the men that she was in relationships with all cheated on her. So she just has that thought process that they all cheat. Yeah, I'm glad you got out of that situation because, oh Lord, that's why, girl. Because they probably use the Bible to you know justify the no divorce and all that kind of stuff. Because I was watching this one young lady on YouTube, honey, and she was like, "It don't matter what your husband do to me. I don't care if he beats me or is with other women or whatever. I'm not gonna risk getting a divorce and going to hell." What? What, girl? So she basically said her husband could do whatever he wanted to do to her, and she would not divorce him because she didn't want to go to hell. My mom and dad have been together for 51 years. But did he cheat on her? Because just because they together for 51 years don't mean it was 51 good years. Did he cheat? They said that if I prayed, he would eventually stop because it worked for them. They were a couple. She said she prayed. Girl, yeah. Sometimes you just got to. leave. You just gotta leave. Because if the other person ain't praying too, you just praying by yourself. They not praying. Was your husband praying too? Or was you the only one praying? Because if he wasn't trying to change and he wasn't praying and asking God to deliver him, then you were just praying by yourself. Was he in counseling with you? Or was you going by yourself? Because, honey, in situations like that, hey, Melissa, in situations like that, everybody got to be praying. It can pray, the prayer can't be just coming from one end. Everyone in the church loved him. Oh, y'all went together? She accuses him, but I don't know if he ever cheated on her. Oh, okay. Well, maybe he didn't. But it was she has to have that mentality that all men cheat from somewhere. If her husband wasn't cheating on her, me too, girl. I'm out. She has to have gotten that mentality from somewhere. If it wasn't her husband, it was somebody. Because if she's in, you said your dad's a good guy. If she's in a good relationship, why wouldn't she want the same thing for you? Why would she want you to stay in a relationship where she knows that you're being hurt if she's not? Would be my question. After a marriage counseling session, he kicked me back in and choked me in the headlock because I didn't want to have sex with him. Was he mentally ill? Was there something going on with him mentally, or was he doing drugs or something? Or was that just like, how did he get to that point? How did he get to that point? Like, he just woke up one morning, one day, and he was violent? Or was he just violent the whole time and you were just ignoring it and it just got worse? Like, how did it get to that point? He was on drugs. Okay. Okay. That explains it. That explains it. Because when you get, oh, on meth, yeah, girl. Yeah. You definitely made the right decision. Because, they that's the MO of a drug addict. You never know where they're going to be, what type of headspace they're going to be in from one hit to the next. One day he's probably nice and then when he don't have drugs and he want them, he mad at the world, and they do become violent and aggressive. So yeah, you totally made the right decision. Totally made the right decision. But anytime anybody is abusing you physically, mentally, emotionally, you need to be out. Especially if the person is not trying to help themselves. Yeah. I mean, when I'm dating someone, that is one of the main things that I'm watching out for, because I just cannot be in a relationship with an addict. I'm always watching, like, does this person drink? Do they smoke? What habits do they have? I don't like people that drink. Now, if we go out and you have one, beer or something like, or a glass of wine or something like that, yeah, I'm good. But going out, drinking, getting drunk, that's too much. I can't deal with it. I used to get nosebleeds from her telling me my boyfriend is cheating and we don't spend the entire weekend together. Even if he was in bed sleeping, my mom would tell me he's asleep because he's a cheat. No, I'm not knitting, I'm crocheting. Well, why would she do that? Did she say why? Did she say why she would tell you that? Like she didn't want, did she just not want you to be with that person? And she would, be telling you that, why would, did you ever ask why she did that? When we went to church, I wasn't even allowed to look at the pastor. I had to keep my head down during service. Yeah, he was controlling and I couldn't even go to the restroom alone. Oh, she wanted to convince you that all men cheat. Well, it seemed like she had some type of control issues. And Naya, he definitely did. Oh, you're not knitting. Knitting is a trademark skill and needs skill. So what are you saying? What are you saying? That crochet you don't need skill? Can you knit? There you go. You see how people don't have nothing else to do. But did it start out like that, Naya? Did he start out acting like that? Or did he just become that over time? Because, I always say, look at red flags. And most people don't hide who they are. It didn't start out like that. Like he got controlling and stuff after he was playful. And then he just became controlling in the relationship. Because most people show you who they are in the beginning. And if I can't figure out who you are, I'm gonna be trying my best. She constantly expressed women. She constantly expressed women should not have babies. I got my tubes tied at age 22 trying to get her approval and acceptance. Play money is crazy. Oh no. Yeah, I don't do that play fighting stuff. So, did you not want kids? Because 22, why would a doctor even tie your tubes at 22 if there's nothing medically wrong with you? Why would they do that? Like, they didn't try to talk you out of that? You didn't want children? That's kind of strange. Yeah, I don't. You can't play with me like that. Was that before? Did he do this before you got married? Because if he did that to me before we got married, that would have been it. But see, I don't play fight. I don't do all that. Don't hit me. Don't even play like you gonna hit me. I don't play like that. Yeah. I don't even know why she would tell you in your 20s not to have kids. And why no doctor? Oh, that was after y'all was married. I don't understand why a doctor would even allow you to do that at 22 and you hadn't had any children. And she had kids, so why she didn't want you to? Your dad slapped him. What you told your dad what happened? Gosh. Does he still go? You still go to the church? Cause I know he don't want to see you. But y'all have kids. Do you have a child together? Y'all have a child together? Was he a Muslim or something? Cause that sounds like something a Muslim would do. Like you can't go to the bathroom by yourself. Oh. Well then, what reason would they have to still be inviting him to family functions? That's crazy. Cause y'all don't have no ties to each other. Why would he still be coming to family functions? Like I would never want to speak to him again. After I got away from him, I'm about to get off here, y'all. I'm tired. I gotta put some probably put an ice pack on my wrist for a little while before I go to sleep. No, he was young, half black and half white. He was 19 and I was 23. Yeah, but I'm saying why why is your family still, after all of that, why is your family still inviting him to get-togethers? You guys have no ties to each other. Are they still, why are they still friends? Yeah, but I'm saying, why is he still friends to your family? You said they were still inviting him to cookouts. Why is he still friends with your family? I wonder how cold is it. You gotta go outside? You ready to go outside? It's 9:30. You ready to go outside? Oh, rascal. Come on. Come on. Because they took care of him when he was a teenage orphan. Mm, that's interesting. Okay, y'all. I will. We'll come back tomorrow. I will try to do more of these lives in the evening. I guess they feel obligated. Yeah, I don't understand that. Because you hurt somebody in my family, there's no obligation there. You're an adult now. There's no reason for you to. I don't need to see you. Mm. It's still weird because I'm pretty sure if someone had abused my child, they wouldn't be in. I would not be inviting that person. I don't care how long it's been. You're not gonna come over to my house and break bread with me. That's no, no, nobody. My child, my grandchild, my cousin, anybody. You're not gonna break bread with me. I don't care if you've grown, matured, whatever. I still wouldn't look at you, and I wouldn't trust you. Like I wouldn't want you around me. But that's me. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I charged my old computer because my husband still didn't figure out why the audio is bad on the new computer. Well, that's good that you don't have to see him, but I just don't understand why people either. Um, so hopefully my other computer is working and I won't have to go live on my phone. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna take Gizmo out. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.